What's up YouTube, I'm Joe, you're watching my channel Ink&Iron, and I'm here today with a video about the GOAT Multitool. We're going to talk about breaking in some of these tool actions right here. So I lubricated this side quite a bit using food grade mineral oil, and I've just been working it open and closed, and I want to show you how I'm doing that and how you can tell that it's actually working. So some of these tools here you can see have darkened a little bit. Here are the scissors. All I've been doing is taking it in the initial position here, in the initial open. Sometimes I'm having to hold these tools down, hold it down, work it open and closed. What you're doing is working this back side here where it interacts with the lock mechanism. See how it's like flat and then it starts to curve right there where it's flexing that lock bar out. That is going to be a hard sticking point right there. It's going to cause a lot of friction in the tool and mostly cause the tool to clump like that. So I'm holding that stuff down and just working that particular motion with lubrication on the backside. So you can see how glistening and oiled this is. What you want is a dark buildup of worn steel to accumulate on that tool. You can see it a little bit on the scissors here, but I'm going to show you on this safety cutter what I'm talking about. I've got the safety cutter over here. I was testing it out. It works very well. However, like the other tools, it is pretty stiff currently, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of oil. If there's a little bit excess, that's not a big deal. Later on we can wipe it off and reapply oil. So I need to hold the hot swap lever and the other tools in place while I do this. Let me make sure I got that oil all the way along this lock bar here. Alright, so let's go initial position, holding down the other tools, opening this slightly and then returning it almost to a closed position. I don't want to go all the way closed because then I have to open it again. We're just going to do this for a bit. Probably going to speed this part up so you don't have to sit here for minutes at a time while I work this pivot. You'll want to do the whole range of motion, but I kind of do them incrementally. That way I'm not just winging this tool all the way out. I mean, you can do it like this, but it's a bit, I don't know, it feels more tedious to me than breaking it down into its constituent actions. But you know, you do you. As long as you're lubed up and you're working the action of this lock bar and this pivot appropriately, you will get some results. So let's see, we've been at it for only about a minute or so. Let's see if we're starting to see some wear. Yep, I'm starting to see a bit of a polish coming onto the backside of this safety cutter, and hopefully we are polishing the lock bar face as well. It does appear to be a little bit of black dust, which is just worn steel accumulating. So yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this. Now this won't help with the clumping necessarily, but it will help the individual tools open and close. And if you're thinking, wow, this is a lot of work for a brand new multi-tool, you're right. You are absolutely right. What I'm gonna say to that is I've never had a Leatherman, a Gerber, an SOG, you know, not need any sort of work out of the box. The only tool that's never needed work out of the box is gonna be the Swiss tool by Victorinox. That thing comes buttery smooth, and if it doesn't, send it back and get a replacement. Yeah, the Victorinox really only get grittier with time. All the other tools seem to be gritty up front and get smoother over time. You also have a chance to disassemble them, unlike most of the Victorinox tools, which are just riveted together, and you need to be like, you know, some kind of expert to disassemble those. Can also depress these tools to disengage the lock and work it in this position, although I find that that's really not much of an issue. It is the initial starting portion and sort of the midway deployed positions that give me trouble. Okay, starting to get a decent polish on the safety cutter. Let's see if we can get it out without it clumping. Not really. I can't open it one-handed now, that's nice. So, we're getting there. What I have noticed about the GOAT tool is that it doesn't break in nearly as fast as something like a Gerber. It feels a bit more like a Leatherman, where you gotta sit here and work it until it's smooth. I don't think it's unusual for a multi-tool to need this. I do think this one needs more break-in particular because this design is a first attempt. It is somewhat unrefined. There are no washers or shims between these tools, and I have seen those on something like a Leatherman. So, you know, Leatherman may have mitigated this problem in the past by using those shims and washers, so that may be something to add to future iterations of this tool just to help the action out of the box, because wow, it is quite a bit of work. But luckily I have the time to help troubleshoot and solve these problems, and that's kind of fun for me. So anyway, hope this was helpful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Like, sub, do the things, and have a good day. Bye.